Albums can be more than just a collection of songs. The best tell a story, either of a time period, place, or a narrative story. These are my picks for the top 5 albums of all time. Number 5. This whole list is going to get very rocky, so before we get to that, I wanted to give a slot to rap. This spot could have gone to the likes of Biggie, Eminem, or Kendrick, but I decided to give it to Hamilton. Now, first things first, I hate musicals, but Hamilton is easily my favourite. A musical about one of America's founding fathers and a rap hip-hop musical has no business being this good. Whether it's the titular song, the rallying cry of My Shot, or the rap battle set in the stuffy world of cabinet meetings, Hamilton does what every other musical fails to do. It gets my attention, keeps it, and never lets go. Number 4, Dark Side of the Moon, Pink Floyd. Okay, so admittedly this pick is a bit basic, but there is a reason why this album is beloved by both fans and critics. The album explores topics such as greed, time, death, and mental illness, and features some of the best experimental recording techniques I have ever heard. Standout tracks include Money, The Great Gig in the Sky, and Time. Dark Side of the Moon is an album that deserves all the praise it receives. Number 3, AM, Arctic Monkeys. AM is the album that launched the Arctic Monkeys from indie darlings to the mainstream. For good reason, AM is probably their tightest album yet. It's rare that an album has no bad songs on it, and AM delivers hit after hit, making it an easy listen and an album to listen to all the way through. Number 2, MTV Unplugged in New York, Nirvana. Now the usual pick here would be to pick Nirvana's second studio album, Nevermind. However, I actually prefer their 1993 performance from MTV Unplugged. Unlike their contemporaries, Nirvana avoided playing their bigger hits, electing instead to play obscure covers and have guests, the Meat Puppets, on. A fact I'm sure made the producers very nervous. However, what resulted was an incredible once-in-a-lifetime performance. Perhaps what makes this album so great is what it promised, a new sound for the band that we never got to truly hear. Number 1, American Idiot, Green Day. Very much an album of its time, American Idiot perfectly encapsulates the feelings that surrounded George W. Bush's presidency, telling the story of Jesus of Suburbia, a lower middle-class American adolescent anti-hero who expresses his disdain and disillusionment with the current state of affairs in post-9/11 Iraq War era America. This is evident on songs such as American Idiot and Holiday, but also the fingerprints can be seen throughout the album. 12 years later, the album became relevant again during the Trump administration, proving that it's just as relevant now as it was back then. Well, that's my list. Let me know what are some of your favourite albums. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.